My 31, helmet-wearing children. 30-year-old wife of 7 years had an affair after they split. Now that some old trauma has surfaced, I'm not sure if I should give up on the possibility of reconciliation or even how to do so. You can skip to the timestamps and the most recent update, Update 2, if you are already familiar with this story. To save a lengthy narrative, my wife, 30, and I, 31, were married for 7 years before we started living apart approximately a year and a half ago. Due to our 3 children who presently live with me, we spent the first year of our relationship in the same house. However, going forward, we will alternate days with each of our parents for 3 and 4 days each. Before the divorce, there had been a marital crisis and some difficult issues in the bedroom that we attempted to resolve with the assistance of professionals, but, by this point, it's likely that she had had enough. We spoke and visited one another frequently prior to the new arrangement. She has now realized that she had an extremely painful experience as a child, most likely brought on by the marital problems. There are similarities to what transpired as well. She has already scheduled an appointment to talk with a psychotherapist about this and other unresolved emotions. She has already had multiple affairs since moving out because, in her opinion, the marriage is no longer real. She's searching for something new, too, but she's not sure what she wants at all. I was actually prepared to educate myself on divorce law procedures prior to the revelation of the childhood trauma, as I knew there was no chance of recovery. However, now that I am aware of the trauma, I'm not so sure. I hope, in some small way, that she will be able to process all of the grief and issues from her past, along with the events of the crisis, during the upcoming psychiatric sessions, and then perhaps even envisage returning. Even though I realize there is very little likelihood of this happening and it would probably be better for me to just make the cut, the additional information makes it harder for me to let her go. It makes sense that she is afraid it would revert to its former habit after a while and lacks confidence, which is why she doesn't want to attempt it again. I'm emotionally messed up and traumatized by the choices I'll most likely have to make and accept. I believe I require an impartial viewpoint. I would also appreciate any advice on how to shift my perspective, such that I no longer see hope. Update 1 *. It has been some time since my previous post. In brief, the wife moved out some time ago. While waiting for the fresh findings on her childhood trauma, she met and had sex with other men. As a result, she is now seeking therapy. I don't know if she's genuinely doing it. I didn't know if I should be hopeful or not. Since then, I've made an effort to limit our contact and limit our conversation to matters pertaining to the kids. This has, for the most part, worked successfully. Despite this, we continue to communicate frequently, particularly when one of our kids' birthdays was approaching. Although I felt better, I was still plagued by negative ideas regarding her behavior towards males. She told me during our most recent talk that she doesn't want to meet any more men and that she needs to figure out what her true desires are before she meets any more. Even though I had no evidence, I was positive that she does it. Then came my child's birthday. We were all in the family together. Of course, she was there, too. I thought that was really strange. She was telling me about her wonderful life and acting like a friend, but everything was broken, and it made me feel incredibly uneasy. I had the same strange feeling. The following day was the child's birthday celebration. I told her over the phone in the morning that I felt it would be best if she didn't come. That day, the children were with me nevertheless. She insisted on coming even after I gave her the reason. The kids were having a great time at the celebration, but I couldn't help myself, and then it happened. I found it intolerable. She was obviously seeing 1 or 2 men, and I saw from the messages on her cell phone that they were also staying the night at her residence. To be honest, I made repeated mentions of my desire for my kids to not share a bed with Mom while she was having sexual relations with men. She responded she didn't want that either, which was in agreement with me. I snapped at her and told her to get out of the party. I replied that I had read her mails when she questioned why. Then things got a little more serious. The fact that I had invaded her privacy infuriated her. I didn't give a damn. She can be so dishonest, I told her, and she should go. I told her I hoped to never see her again. With phrases like "I tried not to see him again, but I'm only human and weak" and other such platitudes, she attempted to defend herself. The conversation became a little nasty, but she eventually departed. She then acknowledged to sleeping with males and promised to keep seeing one in a message that I received. She claimed that she no longer cares about my feelings and doesn't give a damn about me. She mentioned that she gets orgasms and how wonderful the sex is. That was written by her, exactly. She wants to file a complaint against me for invading her privacy. She claims I provoked her, but I still had a fingerprint registered on her phone and she believes I stole some software. This, to me, was the last line. I'm going to file for divorce and have an appointment with a lawyer soon. However, the part about the sex bothers me. Even though I knew she wrote something to harm me out of anger, it still made me feel insecure. Every time we had sex, it was all right, nothing exceptional. She was always a little reticent to find her own sexual passion, and she had previously said that she enjoyed the experience. I was her first. Additionally, I worry that the divorce will turn into an unpleasant one and become more of a rose-colored conflict, with a focus on the kids and the possibility that they may grow up to see their mother with another guy. Yesterday, I had a talk with my nearly 10-year-old daughter about how she doesn't want to spend time with her mother because she feels uneasy there. She wanted her mother to return, which is why she was depressed. I made an effort to clarify to her why that would not occur. I assured her that nothing was wrong with the kids, that Mom still loved her, and that I would always be there for her. I also told her that I loved her more than anything. I'm not sure how much I can tell my daughter. I think it would be inappropriate to say that she is seeing other men. I'm also terribly afraid of what lies ahead, including how my kids will be, how I'll feel, how long it will take me to move on from my wife, and so on. I'm not sure what to anticipate from the post either. Most likely, all I need are some words of encouragement on the 4 paragraphs. Update 2 * a little follow-up to my narrative. Though it seems like an eternity has passed since I last posted, it was actually not that long ago. Recap: the soon-to-be ex-wife has had extramarital affairs. While at our son's birthday party, I confronted her. Poor decision, but a snap response that resulted in her expulsion. She wants to file a complaint against me for invading her privacy. She believed that I had hacked her phone or installed something on it. What has transpired since then? I apologize for the lengthy text. Because of the kids, I wanted to keep personal contact to a minimum and limit it to what was absolutely essential. A few weeks ago, I began to implement this plan. My kids and I were going to spend a weekend skiing. One of my kids started making a big deal out of not wanting to tidy up the room right before we left. This sparked conversations to the point where the youngster expressed a desire to remain with its mother and refused to accompany me. I advised the child to phone the mother to get further clarification. Of course, work and who knows what else made it unfeasible. I was experiencing intense emotional turmoil at that moment since my kids and I were both eagerly anticipating the weekend, and because I continue to hold my soon-to-be ex responsible for the state of affairs and my children's feelings. I had discussed the feelings with the child on multiple occasions, and naturally, it is not getting better, which is the complete contrary of the mother's belief that it must not be affecting the kids. In any case, I picked up the phone to get a confirmation of the current situation. Once more, things got a little out of control when I told my soon-to-be ex what I thought about it and the circumstances behind it. After she hung up, I emailed her a one-line message that said, "You can hang up, but that doesn't change the truth." Like before, the entire situation was an emotional stunt on my part. I did better, though, to wait for things to calm down before responding. "I'll see you later." This prompted her to respond with a lengthy, clearly emotionally charged response in which she outlined her realities. I won't go into detail now, but it was about what went wrong and how I mistreated her. That she doesn't feel bad about the affairs as well. How the F*** is that? An abortion resulted from one of them. How are you not sorry for that? Once more, I'm attempting to fully place the blame and accountability on myself. She wrote, The truth is, I don't want you in my life anymore, and I'm ready to divorce you. This is also crucial. I used the chance to call her BS out and show her the kind of bubble she's living in by presenting the facts honestly. I also used the occasion to let her know that my attorney will be sending her a letter on the divorce shortly. I gave her a thorough and unbiased explanation of why I no longer saw hope for us. The response then came, "I didn't plan on getting divorced, but it looks like you've planned and organized everything. Would you please?" She had already had a change of heart 3.5 hours after writing about the divorce. I didn't reply since I didn't care and didn't want to hear more. The truth is, based on everything she says and does, she is yelling for a divorce. Perhaps not in the fantasy world she has created for herself, as per her conceptions. We would likely remain married and have a family with all the things that go with it, but she might still see other guys. This has demonstrated to me that she is completely unaware of what she did and has not considered the repercussions. She must have been surprised to hear my information, presumably. Ever since, the children have been the main subject of our correspondence. I've set up an app where we can talk about matters pertaining to the children and have a shared calendar. After some time, I spent 1.5 weeks skiing with the kids once more, and we had an amazing experience. As I heard nothing during the first week, I assumed that she had received a letter from a lawyer. I've anticipated any response. I was already relieved that everything would work out well. 2 weeks ago, on Friday, the anticipated response transpired. She texted saying she had got the letter and would be carefully reading it. Her fury was literally palpable to me. She then made a few remarks regarding the material, and it was clear to me that she was really sensitive. She likely initially believed that I was merely threatening with nothing in return, but now she knows that's not the case. As previously stated, I also believe that she is gradually coming to terms with the fact that her house of cards and wishful thinking is falling and that she will be responsible for the fallout. She sent me the following message 3 days after receiving the letter. I'll attempt a rough translation. Dear OP, I have been longing to apologize to you for everything that happened, that you had to suffer because of me, and that I hurt you and that everything is destroyed. But I also want to thank you that I could grow up with you. I hope you know that I will always be there for you when you need me, and I mean it. Since we didn't make it as a couple, I would be very happy if we could be good parents for the children, function harmoniously, and give them security. I hope I have expressed myself clearly. Thank you. How am I supposed to even consider this? For what is she expressing regret? Naturally, this makes it simple for her to avoid having to really reflect so she can avoid dealing with what she did and continue to ask for my forgiveness. She is my constant companion, but what the F*******? That was a condition of the vow, which she clearly broke. Thanking me once more for maturing? She has obviously failed to learn the most crucial lesson, which is how to deal with crises. By this, I mean the initial marital problem that most likely started everything and led to her falling further and farther into a never-ending downward spiral. It's obvious she wants me to forgive her. She's probably not waiting for me to respond. I believe the main reason is because she feels better about herself now that she's expressed what she wanted to say. At one point, she added, she would attempt to look at things more positively from now on. Essentially what I have been telling her for years, and now that she has already ruined her family, she is acting on it. I have a week to reflect right now. Good, no strong feelings. Whether I should answer her and give her the satisfaction or deny it to her. Specifically, to remind her of the things I previously discussed and to present the truth to her. I have no interaction at all, but based on the ambiguous language of this SMS and the action itself, I believe she is seeking absolution rather than contact in this instance. Therefore, my only course of action would be to destroy her desire and potentially her inner serenity. Oh, and she once said that she was at the police station due to the report of abuse privacy, but she refuses to report me. Naturally, no. Most likely, she was warned that she would just look foolish and that she had nothing to her name. Although the divorce process is started, it takes 6 to 12 months to complete. How do you feel? should I respond, or better still, not? It's not that I want to somehow salvage the marriage, because I don't think it can be salvaged. In addition, I would absolutely not desire it with my wife in her previous state. Perhaps, but she is no longer the same and has undergone such drastic negative change. We start with succulent Sebi's response. It's a trap with my ex. Anything outside of legal matters was just his attempt to get his foot in the door, followed by gaslighting to make me feel bad for leaving him for cheating. Additionally, I think this was her way of getting it off her chest, and don't be surprised if she plays the "I apologized" card in the future. The writer responds, I also think this was just to make herself feel better, and that's why I'm struggling to respond or not, because I actually don't want her to feel better just from saying that big stuff. But yeah, as you said, this could also be a way to start a discussion once I reply. Granick adds, the thing is, this is all about her and how she feels. How you feel doesn't matter to her. It is all about her. If you react to this mail now, then you react to exactly what she wants you to react to. Of course, she wants absolution. Of course, she wants to hear from you that what she did hasn't destroyed you completely, because then she can think of what she did wasn't so bad. But it is all about her. Just like when she cheated on you, she doesn't care about you. If you reply now, then you only show her that you still care about her. That's it. This is not about the kids or the divorce. That is only about her. So don't reply. Don't give her what she wants. Reduce all contact to her to only be about the kids and the divorce. That's it. Take care of yourself and stay strong. A final thought from Front Thought 9988. Nothing will torture her more than getting no reply from you. Ignore any texts that aren't related to co-parenting. Don't let her manipulate you into a petty text exchange that will feed her need for attention. It will drive her nuts when she isn't getting that attention from you. The following tale is that of his brother's cheating girlfriend. My older brother Ethan, who is 26 years old, and I, Olivia, who is 15 years old, are close. Because we are 11 years apart in age, he is like a father to me. He moved away 8 years ago and now resides overseas in Mexico, where he also met Lucia, a 24-year-old woman. Now, they have been dating for around 4 or 5 years. They had been residing in our place for the last 4 months due to work-related reasons. I heard my 48-year-old male and 58-year-old female parents discussing yesterday how happy they are to finally meet their first grandson. I couldn't figure it out. As of right now, my parents are not grandparents. When I questioned, they informed me that my brother is expecting a baby with his girlfriend. They found out last night. They desired to inform me in the morning. My parents and I were ecstatic. I was overjoyed to have a niece or nephew at last. However, because our walls are so thin, I overheard the girlfriend speaking to a friend in Spanish over the phone 2 nights ago. I was speaking on the phone with my 15-year-old best friend Alba, who was Spanish-speaking. I was perplexed when she cut me off in the middle of our conversation and asked, "What the hell is Lucia talking about?" I'm not fluent in Spanish. Incredibly, I did as Alba asked, "Hold your phone against the wall. I want to hear what she is talking about." Alba gasped. She exclaimed things like, "What the F***?" What? No, and no escrave. Alba became enraged as Lucia's call ended. She basically told me that the baby is probably not Ethan's and that Lucia was cheating on him. It stunned me. She had told me that she was serious, so I didn't think she was kidding. I sprinted over to Ethan. I filled him in on everything. He didn't believe me, but I won't go into specifics. He claimed, incorrectly and entirely untrue, that I was just making it up out of jealousy that I would no longer be the only child. I couldn't wait to meet the baby. I want to ruin his life and many more horrible things, he cried as he screamed at me. He dismissed me. I was furious and outraged that he was not going to believe me. My parents spoke with me the following morning and told me that lying about such delicate issues was wrong and that I should stop acting in such a way. They advised me to quit lying. Even though I told them I wasn't lying, they didn't think I was. I didn't offer an apology. My brother cut off communication with me, and Lucia shot me a glare full with hurt. So what should I do, I wonder? Kindly offer some guidance. For privacy, names are changed. Recall that I speak English as a second language. Prior to the I've done the work update, one response, don't worry. This is just blaming the messenger and ignoring the message. The main thing is that it has been brought to everyone's attention. The seeds of doubt have been well and fully sowed. The rest is up to them. Just know you tried to do the right thing, and now the mess will sort out itself. You did nothing at all wrong. It will be blowing up soon. The girlfriend will end up with no boyfriend and a baby on her own. The DNA test will prove who the daddy really is. And if no one apologizes to you, you will know their own lack of character as well. Update, Alba, my best friend, told my brother everything when we spoke. He didn't say anything during the entire listening session. He sobbed when she was done. I felt so sorry for him. He claimed he needed some time to reflect. Alba had told him things only the two of them knew, and by then he was certain she was telling the truth. An hour later, he emerged from his room and expressed his regret to me. He expressed regret because he didn't trust his own blood. He claimed he was unable to atone sufficiently for his deeds. My parents expressed regret and made such remarks. After our conversation, he spoke with Lucia. Her deception was brief. She promptly folded. The talk went on for a while. Yes, they did split up in the end. Moreover, one of Ethan's closest pals was the person she had an affair with. How the F*** is that? While Ethan stays in his native nation for a year to try and make sense of everything that happened, Lucia is returning to Mexico. The lesson learned is to trust your sister, regardless of her age.